Hey guys, it's hashtag Ask Lauren. So there's lots of good questions on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all kinds of things. Today I'm gonna maybe wrap a couple of questions into one because one person on YouTube, Jennifer, said, would I ever do a video about my religious/spiritual beliefs? Or is that something you want to keep to yourself? Plus, a few people have asked on YouTube as well. Jessica said, I love your vibe. I'm new to spiritual practices. What do you do specifically when you meditate? Do you use imagery, mantras, breathing? Can you explain more about your journal, how you manifest? So lots of questions relating to this kind of thing. Samantha Braun said, I just started meditating. What are your favorite ways of practicing meditation? Do you recommend apps, books, lectures, etc. for beginners? So I'm going to kind of address, I guess, all of these things. So this is an Ask Lauren about my beliefs and I guess my spiritual practices and how I practice those beliefs in what I call a higher power. I have created now 2 playlists on my channel that you should watch, because if you're newer to the channel, you may have missed some of these videos I did earlier on, but I made a vegan lifestyle playlist, which includes every video where I mention something about being vegan or something about the vegan lifestyle. And I made another playlist that's all about meditation and manifestation, which is mainly the 2 things I believe in most, which I will address right now again, because I'm not necessarily a religious person. Like, I've never felt a connection to any religion. When I was younger, I remember my dad always wanted me to go to Sunday school, and always immediately I was like, no, I don't want to go to Sunday school. Like, I'd always get my back up about it, and I didn't feel like it was something that I was drawn to. And I certainly used to be a lot more like, maybe even like atheist, where I thought, well, I didn't really know what atheism meant. I guess I was more agnostic. Atheist is like, you don't believe in anything. And I've always believed in something, I just didn't know what it was, and I didn't know how to talk about it, and I hadn't met anybody, and I hadn't found any literature that like explained exactly what I thought I believed in. And the only thing that I really connected to and believed in was a lot of the stuff that Oprah would talk about. And I remember listening to Oprah and watching the Oprah Winfrey Show when I was younger, and when she would talk about kind of like the soul, and like she would often say God, but she would also kind of talk about, you know, the higher power. And like I was like, that makes sense to me. I never wanted to believe in God in like the biblical sense, or I didn't really connect with Jesus and all that stuff. I just didn't grow up that way. I'm not baptized, I didn't go to church, anything like that. And my parents are baptized, I believe, and my dad always seemed to like want us to like be into I don't even know what he is, if he's Catholic or something. See, I don't really know anything about religion, to be honest. And I think the idea of like organized religion to me is just not something that resonates like in my life. It's just not something I was ever around. Now, when I was growing up in high school, I had a few friends who were Christian. One was like even like very Christian, like evangelical Christian, I don't know. But they weren't pushy, and I remember we'd have conversations about stuff, and I was always curious about like knowing more about religion, like trying to understand other people's belief systems. But I've always just really kept an open mind. And so anyways, this belief in the things that Oprah believed in, and I guess more of what you would call a spiritual belief system, is something that always resonated with me, and in the last few years has become more of a way to live and a way of like being and existing that I have found has helped my life. And this idea of creating your life and thinking and dreaming your life into physical reality is something that I talk about, like visualization, manifestation, the law of attraction. And so even in the last 8 to 12 months it has become even bigger because I started listening to Abraham Hicks, which I've talked about. And finally, I feel like I found something that is spoken in a way that really connects to my higher self, that makes sense to me, and every time it's like yes, yes, yes. And I would even liken that to a religion. I would liken it to the way somebody believes in Jesus or God in their practice and in their Bible or in their religion, and feels that connection. So I feel that connection now, but I'd rather define it just as like my higher self that exists in like this non-physical reality that wants all the best things for me, and I'm just trying to align with that so I can live the life I'm meant to live, which is an abundant life, which is a happy life, which is an easy life, which is not full of struggle and things like that. And so how I constantly connect to that and is I listen to Abraham, and I also meditate, which is just being quiet and clearing your head and trying to focus in on that energetic field or that vibration. So these are all the things that I believe in, that on a daily I do feel and I know exist, and there's constant examples in my life that allow me, like synchronicities and things happening and things manifesting physically that I've always wanted, that allow me to know that this is the way we're meant to live, that this is the way we're supposed to practice things, and it's actually very easy. It's not hard. It's not something that causes wars, religions cause wars, these kinds of disagreements and these judgments of other people. And I feel like if we were just to live in more of this harmonious balance within ourselves that has nothing really to do with anybody outside of us, that would actually bring us closer together. It's the disconnection from ourselves that creates all the disconnection from each other, when really we're all the same and we're all one, but we don't see that because we believe in this religion or we believe in this thing, and we judge other people and condemn other people for not agreeing with us. Whereas if we just understood who we are as spiritual beings, as energetic beings, and that we're all the same, then we would actually, be way better off and be fine. So that's what I believe in. To clear that up. And I definitely have talked about this before, so it's not something I'm trying to hide. I've noticed that if I talk about it, other people who are watching my channel and are listening to these videos go, yes, 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 and you get it and you believe it too. And I think that's just, taking those feelings that you feel with inside yourself and just being able to like have them acknowledged by other people. And again, that's just because that is our essence. Like, this is who we are, so let's just put it out in the open. Like, there's no big secret here. There's no, like, it's not really a secret. I mean, there's that book that's called The Secret, like it's some big secret, but I think it's just if you tap into yourself, and if you tap into your life, and if you're being very present with what you're doing, you're like, oh, this is just easy, and this just is what I feel, and this is just what makes sense, and there's really nothing to like figure out or do, because it all just happens. Okay, so in going into practicing like meditation a little bit, watch some of my other videos. Like, I think I just explain more of this in greater detail in a better way in some of the other videos. So go to that meditation playlist, like how I got into meditation. There's one called More on Meditation where I talk about what I do, but it's something I try to do every day in some form. So whether it's even like 5 or 10 minutes, like when I wake up or in the middle of the day, or sometimes I'm doing that moving meditation type thing, like if I'm doing yoga or going on a run. There's lots of ways. I think once you kind of get into meditation and you're doing it, then you can bring that meditative state or that present state to like lots of things you're doing. Because I think that I also am doing it when I'm cooking or making a recipe, where I feel like I'm so there that it all just happens and flows so easily that I don't even really remember what happened. And that's not because I wasn't being present, it's because I was such in like this like energetic alignment of like what I meant to be doing, that it just kind of happened so easily flowing through me that it was like, whoa, like what just happened? So I think you can bring meditation to like anything that you do, and I'm sure it's the same thing athletes would say they experience when they're like really focused. It's just like really, really precise, specific focus. And there's different ways of meditating. Like, you may have heard of transcendental meditation, which is basically mantra meditation. I don't think you have to pay for transcendental meditation if you want to learn how to do it, but you don't need to pay for that kind of stuff. Like, you really don't need to pay for meditation. You can just do it anytime, anywhere. Go online, listen to something. There's thousands of videos, millions of videos, I'm sure, on just like ones that have music, ones that have speaking, guided ones. There's podcasts on your phone. You can go guided meditations. Hay House Meditation, Hay House Radio, Hay House Meditation is a really good podcast if you want to get short meditations on your phone. I've also used something called Headspace, which is an app that I happen to get a free trial of, but you do have to pay for that if you want an app. And it's a little more regimented. It's like 10 minutes every day. It's the same meditation every day. So I found it a little bit regimented. I like to kind of switch things up. And mainly, I've mentioned this before, but I just go on YouTube and I just kind of, whatever kind of finds me that day is what I listen to. Lately, it's been listening to Abraham Hicks, which is mostly just speaking and kind of mantras and like listening to them speak, and I use that as a meditation where I will just sit with my eyes closed and listen to that, and it's almost like reciting and like absorbing information and mantras into my consciousness that allow me to like start my day in the right place or vibration, as they would say. So I like doing that, and I can link all this stuff below in the description for you, but I definitely recommend you check out the other videos I've done that talk about this. There's also a video about some of the books that I am into that have helped me along on this journey. So watch that video, because I'm not going to repeat that information. If you've just started meditating for whatever reason, or maybe because you watched something that I talked about, amazing, keep doing it. It shouldn't be a frustrating thing. It shouldn't be a perfection thing. It shouldn't be something that you are judging yourself about. It should really just be bringing you some peace and some ease to your life, some clarity to your life in some way, making you feel connected, making you feel tapped into who you really are, making you feel tapped into what life is really about. It's not about all these other outside things and comparing ourselves to people and all this stuff. It is about you and your connection to source energy, or your higher self, or God, or whatever. If you can work on that and you can do that every day, you'll be fine. If you can just know that that exists there all the time whenever you are having a problem or having a fight or having an issue or anything, go back to this. All you need to remember is that you're connected to something bigger than you, and you can feel better instantly by tapping into that. So I'm trying to do that every day. I've actually noticed in the last few days something has shifted and something has changed. I think my reactiveness is not as reactive when it comes to whatever things that stress me out, which lately have been dealing with getting the house renovated, and sometimes in working with John we butt heads a little bit, but it's been a little more easy. And I think for a long time, for a couple of years now, I've found a bit of a, like, why is nothing changing? Like, why can't I change my behavior? Why can't I react differently? What's going on? What's going on? And Abraham has helped because it just has allowed me to focus on, I guess, the feeling, or the feeling in that instant. Like, if I feel a certain way, if I feel agitated and anxious, to just choose like a different thought, which for a while and still sometimes I struggle with, but I think it's getting easier. And I think that's what, if you just stick with something and you just trust that like you're being guided in the right direction by doing it, then like it will start to change, and you will start to chip away at things, and things will start to change, and you'll see them. And so when you notice the change, really sit in that and acknowledge and be appreciative and grateful for the fact that, oh, like, you've helped me. And by you, I mean this higher power, your higher self will help you with anything you need. And all you need to do is ask for that help in that moment. Is just like, make me see this differently. Allow me to react differently to this situation. What am I not seeing? Show me what I'm not seeing. So these are things that I say in these moments of high stress or anxiety or whatever, is just like, help me see this differently. So that's the same as praying to God, as people would traditionally have prayed to God. So I guess I'm doing that exact same thing. I'm just articulating it in a different way. So do what you need to do, but you can always, I've mentioned this before about talking with your spirit guides and stuff, so watch that video. But that's just basically asking spirit, asking source, asking God, asking the universe to help you move to where you need to go, to help you see things the way you want to see them. So I hope that helps explain things a little bit more, and I appreciate you watching and being interested in this stuff. And I will link some of the stuff I mentioned below. Also, I mentioned this before, but check out my recommended playlist. If you go to my playlist on my channel, there's a playlist section, right? There's one called recommended, and that's, I've linked all the Abraham videos I listen to, some Oprah stuff, some meditations. So that's just content that I recommend you also check out that I'm not in. It's just stuff on YouTube. So look to that for some inspiration as well. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you Monday, and leave more hashtag Ask Lauren questions in the comments below. Use that hashtag because I search the comments now, because there's a lot of them, and it helps me filter through the ones for Ask Lauren. So thanks for being here. Love you guys, and I'll see you Monday. Bye.